Guys, welcome back to my channel. Today is Tuesday, December the 17th, and as promised, I am showing you my new Christmas tree. It's beautiful. It is white. It looks like it is covered in snow. Has beautiful red and white and silver ornaments on it. So we're going to get up close to it in a minute and take a good look at it. But first, I want to thank my good friend and subscriber, Alana, who lives in Canada, and she was so sweet and so kind to pick this tree out for me and have it shipped to me. And I just appreciate it so much, Alana. And thank you for being in agreement with me to put the tree in Jill's breakfast nook so that she and Husani and Isa and baby Ife and myself, so that we can all enjoy it. Of course, there are no gifts under it yet. All of the gifts are wrapped and hidden far away from Isa and Ife. They will probably show up in just a couple of days before Christmas, because y'all know once your grandkids see the gifts, they're going to be begging and wanting to open them right away, and we don't want that to happen. So let's get up closer to it and take a better look at it. I have never had a white Christmas tree, so this is such a special treat. I love it, and Jill has fallen in love with it too. And Jill put her little star up there at the top. And these are the ornaments that came with the tree. Well, they didn't come with the tree. Alana ordered them and had them shipped. She said that she wanted it to have a pop of red in it. So she did order some of the silver ornaments and, of course, the pop of red. Now, Alana decorates her home in Canada with 16 Christmas trees. And I have seen several of them. She has sent me pictures. And her home is a winter wonderland, that's for sure. She should have been an interior decorator instead of a Royal Canadian Mounted Police officer. But she didn't want to do that. She wanted to help others and be of service to her country and to her fellow man. And I am so proud of you, Alana. I know that you have sacrificed a lot. And it took a lot of strength and courage to go through training and to learn how to become an RCMP, and a lot of sacrifice, time away from your home and family, and putting your life at risk. So I am so proud of you, and it's such an honor to have you be my friend here through my YouTube channel. So let's get up a little bit closer. Just, of course, these are some of Jill's old ornaments that she took out of her storage box. And when Isa was putting them on the tree, he was telling me, "Grandma, this is the one that I made when I was 3 years old, and the one I made when I was 4 years old." Oh, he remembered all of them when he made them. This is a Waterford ornament. Jill and I used to go to the Waterford outlet around this time of the year and buy an ornament from there as a keepsake. I think she still has a box to get out. Oh, look. A little rocking horse. How cute. That one has fallen off. I bet you Ife got a hold to it. Uh-oh. I'll have to fix that. Let's see. Here's another silver. Boy, you were right, Alana. The silver is beautiful on here. Little angel. Here's another one of Isa's handmade ornaments, a snowflake. This was in 2017, so he was 3 years old in that picture. So I had bought this one at the dollar store the other day and was showing it to Jill, and I noticed that one of the little emblems had come off of it, and looked down, and Ife had it in her mouth. Lord, I tell you, these little children, toddlers, they are fast. I mean, you drop something and a second later they could all have already put it in their mouth and swallowed it. Oh, here's Santa. I know she has a lot more Waterford ornaments. So, I just don't know where they're at. These were made for me by my good friend Paula Hatton Vines. And y'all who have been following me for 2 years now know of her and her channel. She does arts and crafts and mostly cards. And she has made me many, many beautiful cards and keepsakes. And she made the keepsake album for me to store Jeremy's things in. And she made these little, she and her husband made the little gingerbread girl and the little gingerbread man for me last year. Thank you, Paula. I appreciate that so much. So I hope you enjoy the tree. Let me step back and get another far-away view of it. It is exquisite and stunning. I got to put the little rocking horse back together. I think I see a little piece that broke off of it, but we have Gorilla Glue, and we will take care of that. Let's just talk a little bit today about depression and how to deal with it during the holidays. I think that about 90% of my subscribers live on Social Security, either Social Security retirement or Social Security disability. And we all know what a struggle that is and how difficult it is. Because by towards the end of the month, most of us are left with no money. And it is difficult to buy gifts and to meet everybody's expectations. But I don't do that anymore. I just go to Dollar Tree and maybe pretend like I'm Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. You know, that this costs $1. And, you know, the grandkids love it, and that's all I have to do is just walk around and sport these reindeer antlers, and it brings a big smile to everybody's face. But, you know, most of us are predisposed to depression, especially as you get older and you lose your husband, or you lose a loved one in your family, you lose your mother and your father, and it accumulates over the years, the depression and the sadness. And it takes a strong man and a strong woman to be able to pull yourself out of the doldrums and to live a happy and productive life. I know I have been through it. I know what it's like to wallow in self-pity and to be so tired and depressed that you can't get yourself out of bed. And I'm not talking about for 1 or 2 days. I'm talking about for years. But you have to do it. You have to get yourself up out of bed and put your boots on and get yourself dressed. And maybe you can't take a shower every day, but you can at least go into the bathroom and brush your teeth and wash your face with a hot rag. And even that will make you feel better. I know there were many days that I just could not take a shower. I was so depressed and so exhausted. Depression does cause severe fatigue and exhaustion. And there were many days that I wouldn't even get out of bed and brush my teeth or wash my face. But it just takes a little ounce of courage and a little ounce of strength. And you can do it. And you have to do it. What I do, I kind of think about my son Jeremy, who died 20 years ago. I think that he's watching over me, and if I don't have the strength to do it, then I'll call on Jeremy to give me the strength, and he always does. But if you are predisposed to depression, and even as hard as you try to overcome it and to will yourself to get better, sometimes you just can't. And that's when it requires a trip to the psychiatrist and to talk to your doctor about a prescription for an antidepressant. I know I would not be where I am today if it were not for my antidepressants. I take 2 a day. I take one in the morning, and then I take one at bedtime, and the one that I take at bedtime, the side effect is drowsiness. So that's a win-win situation because it does help me get a very good night's sleep. But just don't put so much on you. Don't expect so much out of yourself. If you don't expect so much out of yourself, then the people around you will eventually learn not to expect so much out of you either. And also just delegate the duties. If you're cooking a ham or a turkey for dinner, or Christmas dinner, then have your daughters or your sons or your daughter-in-laws or son-in-laws, have everybody else bring the side dishes and the dessert. They'll be happy to cook and to show off their favorite recipes and everything. So you just have to be strong and delegate some duties to others. If you don't have family who are close enough to you to where they're going to be inviting you over or you're going to be inviting them over, then that's an opportunity to try something new. And I would suggest that you volunteer at a local church who is having Christmas dinner for the homeless or those in the community who maybe live in a rooming house and they don't have a kitchen to cook in or just whatever. And they're going to meet at the community hall, at a church, or even at the Salvation Army. They need people in there to volunteer to cook, to help prepare the food and cook it, and also to serve it. And they even have people who volunteer to sing. Maybe you can play a musical instrument. And you'll be surprised at how much that will bless your heart and your soul. So don't wallow in self-pity at home all by yourself on Christmas Day. Get out there and help others, and it will reward you immensely. And maybe instead of having all the gift buying and gift exchanging, you could make a pact with your family that this year, instead of us spending money on gifts for each other, let's buy brand new gifts and wrap them and take them to the Salvation Army so that they can distribute them to people, children in the community who need it. Y'all have heard me tell stories about when John was out of work and had been out of work for a year, and I was very sick with my thyroid not functioning, and we absolutely just had no money. And we had 3 little children who were expecting Santa Claus to come. And we were living in Mandeville, Louisiana, and I contacted the fire department, and they were the ones who were giving out the Toys for Tots that year. So they called me back, and they wanted to know the gender and the ages of my children. So I told them, and right before Christmas, the fire department brought over gifts for each one of my children, and the gifts were all age appropriate and gender appropriate. So maybe you could, instead of spending money on each other, you could buy a gift and donate it to the fire department or whatever agency in your community that is giving out the Toys for Tots. And we all know, we all shop at Dollar Tree and Dollar General. You can get a cute little baby doll for $5. So you're not going to break the bank by doing something like that. Also, just make sure that you stay in touch with your support system. If you have a good friend that you talk to on the phone frequently, make an effort to stay closer in touch with that good friend or with your sister or brother or somebody who can support you and encourage you and help you to get through the holidays with happiness and joy in your heart. Also, if you're going to be going to a family gathering and you know that there are going to be relatives there, and most of us do have at least 1 or 2 relatives who embarrasses us and irritates us, and so I would suggest that you just, one thing that you can control is your reaction to whatever it is that they do or say. Maybe Uncle Rufus sits at the dinner table and belches and farts. Well, you don't have to put up with it. You can just excuse yourself and maybe go into another room and just whisper a little prayer to God and thank him that you don't have gas problems like Uncle Rufus does. So it's just changing your attitude about the people that you're surrounded by, and their quirks and all of their little things that they do to aggravate you. Like I said, you can't control them, but you can sure control your reaction to them. Um, Now, like I said, I do have a son in heaven, and of course I miss Jeremy. I miss him dearly, and we all miss him. He was such a precious young man, and very intelligent and loving and caring. And we're going to miss not having Jeremy at the dinner table this year, but we're not going to cry about it or be sad or upset over it. We will probably buy a balloon, and I'm not sure I can make it to the beach this year, but I don't have to be at the beach to release a balloon to Jeremy. I can just release it out here in the yard, and I'll make sure that it has a lots of helium in it so that it will float up to the sky, and I'll probably buy a balloon that either says Merry Christmas or I love you, and that will be my remembrance to my son Jeremy in heaven. And I usually will light a candle for him too, and I'll let a candle burn all night. And I can smell the aroma from the candle during the night and think about my precious son in heaven. I know that Jeremy watches over me and protects me here on this earth. So there are ways to overcome the doldrums during the holidays and depression, and those of us who live on Social Security and struggle and pinch pennies and count our eggs at the end of the month and our slices of bread, and um, we're not going to let that get us down, because we're going to find happiness and contentment and joy within our own heart and within our own lives. And I just hope that you will continue to support me here on YouTube. And we are a tight-knit community. We love and support each other. And y'all just feel free to leave your comments, and you can let me know things that are bothering you or you're struggling with, and I will try my very best to read every comment and answer every comment. My time is very limited right now with the little bit of Christmas shopping that I'm going to be doing and wrapping gifts, and most of all, I'm sending out a lot of Christmas cards this year. So y'all be looking for a Christmas card from Glenda Sully. Now, if I don't have your address, you won't be getting one. But if I have your address, I will try my best to get a Christmas card in the mail to you. So please give me a thumbs up, guys, and share my videos with your friends and family. And y'all just keep on coming back. Bye now.